Hello there, and welcome to the first book in the Wasteland Deliveries series. I am Matt Weitkamp, the author of this tale. Now I'm sure you're wondering, what is this all about? As I'm not a famous author, or even a non-famous author with a body of work, I'm sure the questions of who the heck I think I am and what in the holy hand grenade I'm doing writing a novel are right here in the front of your mind. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this story and why it's so important to me. You see, I began this tale a long time ago. The concept for this came from a very funny joke that a very old and wise friend once said to me in lambasting the Transformers. Since then, what would eventually become my epic story of fathers and sons, good versus evil, and the fate of the world was born. And I also promise there is a minimum of Transformers. The story of Wasteland Deliveries is about a future where the world has fallen to the control of just one army, the Shogun. Led by a council of 12 warriors, the Shogun conquered the Earth and destroyed most of the beauty and richness of which we, the readers in this century, often take for granted. We join the story 100 years after the end of the war, in an area known only as the Wasteland. It is a perpetual desert filled with terrible monsters, twisted raiders, and even more dangers that can ever be counted. Oh, so you're writing Fallout, huh? You might ask. To which I would respond, shut up. There's room for more than one post-apocalyptic wasteland story in our pop culture. No, but in fact, some of the early influences of the story come from a place that you wouldn't believe. Looney Tunes. Yeah, you heard me right. But our hero of this story is not some Mad Max loner, or a 20-something from the distant past sent forward in time to be like a fish out of water. Oh no, he's much more than that. Our hero is Dave Toriyama, a 15-year-old delivery boy who delivers packages and letters across the wastelands to the small communities which eke out a living amongst the horrors. He lives in the only free city left on the Earth, well, free of Shogun control at the very least, called Central City. The story is about him and the life he's forced to live. We will examine his relationships with his friends, co-workers, enemies, love interests, sand yeti, ninjas, and the occasional miskatonic tentacled threat beneath the surface. Yeah, I said it. He's gonna deal with ninjas. To be honest, there's no way to summarize this story. It's filled with hundreds of unique characters, all walking through their lives with their own wants and desires and needs. It's about how we grow into the adults we're meant to be, and if it's possible, how we can avoid becoming the worst parts of those around us. Can hope survive at the end of civilization? Will love blossom on the battlefield? Wait, that last one is from Metal Gear Solid. I'm sorry, ignore that one. And in the end, will Dave be the hero we need him to be, or will he retain that youthful innocence and find a life devoid of pain? Some heavy stuff. But these are questions that we ask ourselves, even if we don't realize that we do. It's the journey to adulthood and the way we handle our own self-image. So grab a snack and let's just dive into... Okay, yes, I did say an inspiration for this was Looney Tunes. You didn't misunderstand. But if you don't think that the cartoon slice of lifestyle shorts of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Porky Pig aren't about the bleak existential crisis of middle age and the loss of innocence, you were not paying close enough attention at the age of 5. So you got all that? Good. I'm glad you're here. You're gonna love this story, I promise you. Book 1, Welcome to the Wastelands, begins our adventures with Dave Toriyama in the wasteland of the future. Gods help us all. Dedication. I'd like to dedicate this book to my father, who never got to hear this story. You would have loved this, Dad. I hope it makes you proud.